Hi, my name is Natalie Berth, and I'm the founder and creator of Cybersecurity for Humans. I am creating this video because in launching CyberSec for Humans, I am approaching cybersecurity differently than most cybersec professionals. And what I'm offering is for the humans who are not the tech nerds, the people without the big budgets or technical knowledge to do everything that needs to be done to protect themselves, their businesses, their families, whomever or whatever, from the cyber bad guys. And this is important because study after study shows that 95% of all cyber breaches can be traced back to something that a human being did or did not do that they should not or should have done. This is such a huge issue that there's actually a name for it. It's called the human factor, and no amount of artificial intelligence can overcome this problem. The solution is getting good online habits, sort of like learning to look both ways when you cross the street, except it's online instead of off. Now, I think it would be helpful to explain my story a little bit to understand why I decided to start this company and why I feel so passionately about this subject. But first, please like and subscribe for updates. Now, back in the days of dial-up internet, I was in a dual master's program studying for an MBA and a master's in international communication. Now, IC covered both cross-cultural communication and communication systems. For my final SRP, it's a substantial research paper, kind of like a mini thesis, I decided to research what was then the relatively new area of privacy law. Because of where the internet was going, I knew it was going to eventually be a huge issue. The result of this paper is that I became a huge privacy freak. Like what I learned just absolutely terrified me. And most of my actions to protect my privacy and that of my family and businesses, both online and off, are actually forged from that experience. Now, eventually I started working with startups and entrepreneurs as a strategist, which I still love doing. And fast forward to a few years ago when over the course of just 2 weeks, 5 different entrepreneurs I knew lost controls of their websites. The websites just poof, disappeared. 2 disappeared because their developer didn't pay his hosting bill. 1 was hacked and crashed. 1 was claimed by an ex-business partner. And the last developers just disappeared. Now, the biggest problem is that in each case, they either gave their website developers full access and didn't keep admin rights for themselves, or they used really simple passwords and it became really easy to break in. And because of this, they had to jump through hoops to prove that they actually owned the websites. Of the 5, only 2 got back their websites. 2 had to rebuild from scratch, and 1 eventually lost her website address. And all I kept thinking is that if these otherwise really smart people in their industries didn't know how to take a few simple steps to protect themselves, then what else are other people not doing? Things like this happen all the time, all because people don't know what they don't know. In a nonprofit I started, my colleague's nonprofit email account was hacked. Now, normally you'd expect hackers to send out emails from her account. Most common, it's like porn or requests for money or something like that. But what they did was actually pretty smart. They studied her account and they realized that she was the treasurer and I was the president. So they created a spoof email address from me, right? Almost exactly my email address, but not quite if you've been paying attention, and demanded that she pay $6,000 to a new vendor. Now, fortunately, that PayPal link did not work. So she called me about it. And obviously I had no idea what she was talking about. When I saw the email, it didn't even sound like me. The tone was kind of obnoxious and used words I didn't use. And I would never have spoken to somebody in a professional environment like that. She knew something was off when I refused to explain the $6,000 demand, a clear breach of protocols that I actually wrote up, because each payment had to have a reason and be approved. But instead of calling me and asking me why I was breaking protocol, she trusted that I knew best and decided to follow that directive. except that it wasn't from me. She was a victim of social engineering, and they preyed on her trust to get her to do what they wanted to be done. And we almost lost $6,000 in a small nonprofit that could not really afford to lose that money. Now, every day I hear stories like this from people. Everyone wants to believe the best in people, and I really appreciate that. But today, when you don't really know who the people are sitting on the other side of your internet connection, the phrase trust but verify brings on a whole new meaning. Don't assume that anyone is who they say they are, or they always have your best intentions at heart. One shitty developer I know of had access to his client's email address and wrote himself several glowing reviews on this entrepreneur's behalf. All lies. He stole thousands of dollars from them, and they didn't have much nice to say about working with him. And all of this could be avoided with good online habits that remember that cybersec is paramount in everything we do online. So what can you expect from me and Cybersec for Humans? Well, my goal is to make cybersecurity sexy and fun and interesting enough that you want to learn something, that you won't feel intimidated or overwhelmed, that you will realize that you can do so much of this on your own, and it won't take a lot of time and it won't take a lot of money. Now, I have big plans for this company and this channel. I will be sharing explainer videos and how to use relevant tools and techniques. I will do product reviews. I always have a million stories to tell. Share details about the latest phishing techniques and other scams as I learn about them. I'll even try to post some examples. I will post podcasts on which I've been featured. And I think maybe I might start my own podcast, eventually interviewing maybe industry experts and offering Q&As as well. Plus, I am creating courses for different markets. My first one is Cybersec for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and small businesses. I shorten it to Cybersec for Biz. The next one in the pipeline is Cybersec for Parents. I'll probably release that one at the same time as Cybersec for Home. And I also offer consulting services to do a lot of this work for you, including helping you establish your cybersecurity systems, and then writing your IRP and your incident response plan, explain that later on, and your cybersecurity policy so that you understand, and that anybody who works for you, either as a contractor or employee, will understand exactly what needs to happen. Now, one thing that's really important, things I will not be covering, the back-end technical stuff. If you're looking for information on how to add an additional firewall or evaluate DNS systems or learn white hat hacking, this is the wrong place. I can point you in the right direction, but you're not going to have that here. So don't forget to like and subscribe, share if you'd like. And if you have any specific questions or want to see something on this topic, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.